You wake up tomorrow and check your phone and there is a notification waiting for you, and it says, God has officially retired and the universe needs a replacement, and out of 8 billion people they picked you, not the Pope. Not some monk who has been meditating in a cave for 40 years, eating nothing but rice and forgiveness. You. The guy who still has unread texts from 2023. And your first reaction is not gratitude. Your first reaction is panic. Because you just remembered you forgot to water the plant your coworker asked you to babysit for 1 week, and now you are supposed to oversee every plant on Earth. That tension right there is the whole video. Because everyone thinks ultimate power is the dream, but nobody asks what happens the morning after the power lands in your lap, and you realize you do not even know how to manage your own group chat, let alone manage existence. For real, bro, here, where we say what no one else will. And before you get comfortable, here's the second twist nobody tells you. The retirement notice does not come with a manual. No training period. No mentor walking you through the controls. 1 second you are mortal. The next second you are the management. And the universe does not pause to let you catch up. So let's actually sit in this. Let's actually live inside it. Part 1. The promotion nobody asked for. Picture the actual moment. You are lying in bed scrolling, half asleep, thumb moving on autopilot the way it does at 1 in the morning when you are not even reading anything anymore, just absorbing nothing. And then the screen changes. No app, no logo you recognize, just a message that reads, position open, congratulations, you are hired. You do the thing every single person does when something insane happens. You close the app and reopen it. Like that fixes reality. Like the universe is a frozen web page that just needs a refresh. It does not go away. So now you are sitting up in bed at 1 in the morning, heart going, and the first thought that crosses your mind is not, how do I help humanity? Or, what is my divine purpose? The first thought is, wait, does this mean I'm responsible for earthquakes now? That is the real human reaction. We do not jump straight to nobility. We jump straight to liability. And here is the part that should mess with you a little. You spent your whole life imagining what you would do if you had real power. Fix the world. End suffering. Bring back that one TV show that got canceled too early. But the second power actually shows up. Your brain does not go to dreams. It goes to damage control. Because somewhere deep down you already know something. Everyone secretly knows and nobody says out loud. Power is not exciting. Power is exposure. The second you have it, every flaw you have ever hidden behind excuses gets put on a stage with a spotlight. You think you are getting a crown. What you are actually getting is an audit. Things are about to become much bigger than you expected. Part 2. The honeymoon face. Okay, so let's say you accept it, because what else are you going to do? Decline a cosmic job offer and go back to sleep. You wake up the next morning and suddenly little things start working out. You think about wanting a parking spot and one opens up. You think about a friend you have not talked to in years and they randomly text you. Your coffee order comes out perfect on the first try for once in your life. This is the part everyone fantasizes about. This is the trailer. This is the highlight reel you imagined when you used to daydream about having control over everything, and it feels incredible for about 3 days. You start testing the boundaries the way anyone would. You think about your favorite meal showing up, and it shows up. You think about your annoying neighbor's car alarm going off at 3 in the morning and somehow it stops early. You start feeling like the main character of reality, because technically now you are. But here's the part nobody warns you about. Because nobody making the highlight reel ever shows the slow creeping problem underneath the highlight. Every single person on Earth starts wanting something from you. Except now they are not wishing into the void anymore. They are wishing directly at someone who can actually answer. Billions of requests start landing in your head at once. Someone wants their flight delayed. Someone else wants that exact same flight to leave on time because they are on it. Someone wants rain for their crops. Someone else wants sunshine for their wedding happening 1 mile away. You realize something painful very fast. You cannot make everyone happy because everyone wants different, conflicting, opposite things. And somehow you are expected to be the one filtering 8 billion contradicting desires into one coherent outcome every single second of every single day. The thing helping you may also be hurting you. Part 3. The weight nobody sees. This is where it stops feeling like a power fantasy and starts feeling like a horror movie made entirely out of responsibility. You stop sleeping properly, not because you are tired, but because the requests do not stop just because your body wants rest. You start hearing prayers the way you hear background noise on a busy street, except this background noise is constant, and it is made of real desperation. A parent praying for their sick kid, a student praying before an exam they did not study for, A guy praying he does not get caught lying to his girlfriend about where he was last night. And the absurd part, the part that is almost funny, if it was not also kind of devastating, is that you start understanding why the universe feels chaotic and unfair sometimes. Not because whoever is in charge does not care, but because whoever is in charge is trying to balance an impossible equation where helping one person sometimes means someone else does not get what they want. You used to judge how things turned out in your life. Now you are the one being judged for how things turn out in everyone else's life, including people who blame you the second something goes wrong, and never once say a word when something goes right. That is weirdly relatable if you think about it. That is basically every customer service job that has ever existed, except the customers are the entire population of Earth, and the reviews are written in tears and thunderstorms. You start avoiding eye contact with people on the street because you can hear what they secretly want, and it makes regular conversation deeply uncomfortable. Someone says, "I'm fine," and you already know they are absolutely not fine, and now you have to pretend you do not know. The same way you pretend you did not see someone's read receipt activate before they replied 4 hours later. You are now trapped inside something you thought you wanted. Part 4. The breaking point. By the time you reach this stage, you are exhausted in a way that has nothing to do with sleep. You start making decisions out of sheer overwhelm instead of wisdom. You grant a request quickly just to make the noise in your head stop for 1 second, not because it was the right call. And this is where the self-sabotage starts. The same self-sabotage that happens to literally every human being who suddenly gets handed too much responsibility too fast. You start avoiding the bigger problems and focusing on small, easy wins instead. Someone wants their lost dog to come home. You handle that instantly because it feels good and it is simple. Meanwhile, bigger requests pile up untouched because they are complicated and scary and you genuinely do not know the right answer. You are doing the divine version of answering easy emails first while ignoring the one important email that actually requires effort. And then it hits you. The same flaws you had as a regular human did not disappear the moment you got promoted. You are still procrastinating. You are still avoiding hard conversations. You are still scrolling through requests the way you used to scroll through your phone, half present, half checked out, hoping the hard stuff handles itself. Here is the uncomfortable realization. Maybe the original plan was never about getting it perfect. Maybe whoever held this job before you also felt exactly this, lost, exactly this overwhelmed, exactly this unqualified, and just never let it show, because the entire illusion of control depends on looking like you have it together, even when you absolutely do not. Wait. That is the same trick every parent, every boss, every adult has been pulling on the rest of us our whole lives, looking calm on the outside while internally panicking just as much as everyone else. There is one final truth nobody saw coming. Part 5. The theory revealed. Here's the moment everything flips. You assumed this was a story about power, about what you would do with unlimited ability, about wishes and miracles and control. It was never about that. It was about responsibility, and more specifically, about how badly we want power until the exact second we are handed enough of it to actually feel its weight. We spend our whole lives complaining about not having control, blaming the people in charge for everything going wrong, convinced we would do better. And then the one time the universe actually tests that theory, it turns out we would have made the exact same mistakes, just with better intentions and worse follow-through. Remember the plant from the very beginning, the one you forgot to water for your coworker. That was not a random joke. That was the entire theme of the story sitting quietly in the first sentence, waiting for you to come back around to it. You could not handle one plant, and the universe still handed you the responsibility of everything alive on the planet. Because maybe that is the actual lesson hiding underneath all of this. Maybe nobody actually feels ready for the responsibility they are given. Not parents holding their first kid, not someone starting a new job they feel underqualified for. Not even, apparently, whoever is running existence. Maybe readiness was never the requirement. Maybe showing up anyway was always the entire point. Damn, that changes everything. So here's where you come in. And I genuinely want to know this. No fake enthusiasm. Just tell me straight, if you got this job tomorrow, would you actually try your best? Or would you do exactly what I would do, which is grant yourself one good parking spot and then immediately go take a nap and deal with the rest of humanity later? Say it in the comments, and be honest, because we both know half of you are lying right now just thinking about the answer. And if you somehow made it this far without subscribing, that is honestly the most on-brand example of human procrastination I could have asked for, which weirdly proves the entire point of this video better than I ever could have written it myself.